Today I'm going to be sharing with you all the skills that you should prioritize on your first mask in SoulMask. This is going to help you to set off on the right foot and start to level up your mask in a progressive manner depending on your own playstyle that is really going to help and complement your gameplay. There's a few crucial things that I feel everybody should take early doors when they can, and some other stuff that is optional. So we're going to jump straight into the mask skill tree here, and what we're going to do for this video is ignore the bottom section, because depending on which mask you pick at the start out of the initial three, this section from the mask interface module, all of the branches going off this, will be slightly different depending whether you've picked one of the different masks to me. Now, of course, those abilities are good, but they kind of tell you up front what you're going to get from that, and you're clearly going to pick them if you like that mask. So I'm going to leave that one as is. However, these other two branches are exactly the same for every other mask, so what I'm going to go through is them. Now, when I say every other mask, I do mean the initial starting three, and this should give you a good foothold in those ones. And I'll make some updated videos going down the line for the later on masks as well. First, you want to get your core functional module, and then you will want to unlock control. Now, control is very easy to get. It's right in the starting areas. You will see a series of these golden ruins, or these yellow marked ruins. There's 3 of them. You can see them here on the map in kind of a line. It'll tell you if you go on here that it says legends say that a relic from an ancient civilization was left here. This is going to unlock the control module for you, so if you haven't got that yet, go ahead and do it, and that will of course allow you to take control of your different tribesmen, which is kind of one of the most crucial features of SoulMask. Now, this top line is what you get for defeating the bosses, and depending on your server and your character on that server currently, as you can see, I am level 23 awareness strength on this one right now, so I need to be around level 30 or maybe 28 or so to be able to fight the Fog Frog here, but I have completed the Saber-Tooth Tiger, so of course I've got that one, and if I get the right gems in my inventory, the right crystals here, I can upgrade that to get agility plus 5 on whichever the body that you are controlling is, which is obviously really good because it's a tribes-wide buff. So obviously get those as and where you can. You do need to, of course, get the crystals, and you do need to fight the bosses. So that's all I'm pretty much going to say on that one for now, because as you unlock those, you will, of course, want to go for them. One of the early crucial things that is really nice to get is connection enhancement. Now, I've got this currently level 2, but just the level 1 version will allow you to have a total of 9 tribesmen. Now, this is much better than the initial 3, and of course will provide you with lots of options for having them do crafting and gathering, which, by the way, does net you XP for both awareness strength and your body, and of course the mask itself, so you definitely want to get them doing tasks as regularly as possible and automate that where you can. Obviously, then I have upgraded to level 2 here, which allows me to have 13 tribesmen total, and then the final version when I get to level 25 that I can unlock will allow me to have 18 total. So you can get quite a decent large tribe here of people that will be able to do all this different stuff for you, which is great. So definitely level that one up early doors. Now, the next one that I really like is Combat Instinct. Now, this is really good because if you're running through the forest either on foot or on mounts, particularly early doors, you might not notice the enemies unless you're spamming your Q ability often, and therefore if something is going to attack you, it will ping. The reason I upgraded this once is because it just gives you that little bit of extra warning time to pull your shield and your weapon out, or your two-handed weapon, whatever you're using, and be prepared for that. You can of course get that to level 3 once your awareness strength 20, which will give you a 40 meter ping. Now, do be aware this is a fairly loud noise, and the first few times I used this it did make me jump a little bit. However, it is a very, very useful thing, so if you like that kind of pre-warning for attacks, definitely hit that one up. But the reason I like this more than the actual function itself is of course because it leads to perception enhancement, and this is where you repair it to enhance the mask's perception. Detection distance of creatures plus 10 meters, boosting the detection distance to 40 meters, which is when you press Q to detect. Now, you can of course do this plus 20 to get it to a total of 50, so I'm going to go ahead and upgrade that right now, and that means your Q is more powerful. This is very, very useful when you are scouting out areas and also looking at the camps of barbarians and such to be able to plan out your attacks effectively. Now, another thing that's kind of overlooked but is actually pretty useful coming off the Combat Instinct one is this one right here, which is Energy Unit. Now, this will allow you to have extra capacity by plus 200 for each level. I've only got level 1 in this right now, but if I needed to get some more, once I start to unlock some of the abilities that actually cost you to use energy, I can start leveling this up. So again, this is really good coming off that top one. Now, if you're looking to try and get some particularly high level or better tribesmen to your tribe from the barbarians and tribe members that you find around the world, what you can actually do coming off the perception enhancement one is look at the quality assessment, and this one will utilize the data of various creatures and masks perception ability to assess the target's core qualities. Now I'll just show you what this means, because it says hold Q to detect and assess. If you hold Q, it'll bring up this kind of zoom menu, and you'll see there that it tells you the strength, agility, physique, endurance, and perception. So it doesn't tell you the crafting level maximums and things like that, but it does tell you the kind of core basic mechanic skills, which is very, very useful to have access to, so I definitely recommend that one. Now, of course, there is the weapon tree down the bottom here. You do have to start with memory unit fighting, which has a proficiency growth rate to gauntlets, in order to be able to get down the line here. I, of course, have been using spears, so I've upgraded that. Obviously, you can't get another level there until awareness strength 25, but this is useful because it will allow you to level them up quickly. And for those newer players, if you are still on your first initial created character, once you get tribesmen that have a higher level skill cap, you'll be able to level this up even further, so this will be more useful as you get better people to use in the tribe for fighting and such. It is still useful early doors to be able to get that nice boost on some of the weapons, and you can go ahead and do that on all of the weapons, including the shield if you want to. And you can, of course, at the end of this line, then straight away, as soon as you've got the memory unit fighting one, you can, of course, equip here the mask hardening perk here, which alters the mask's hardness, giving targeted protection to the head when necessary, damage to the head minus 5%. So this is pretty good, and it can be helpful, again, if you are particularly on a PvP server, but also a lot of the NPCs do damage to your head intentionally, so this can be quite nice to pick up as well. Now, again, on the kind of gathering one, you'll need to get the auxiliary functional module, which is where boost your crafting speed by 5% is nice to have, but also that means you can then go down the memory units for all of the gathering and crafting skills, and essentially what that will do is boost your proficiency growth rate by 25% for the first level for each of these. So you can see I've got logging, I've got mining, and I've got craftsmanship. I then went down here to alchemy, across to weapon crafting, and down to armor crafting. Now, of course, that is, again, for the character or the body that you are currently playing as, the tribesman you are playing as right now. So you can choose this depending on what you want your tribesman to level up. If you get one pretty early doors that's, say, cooking, you might want to unlock these ones or a couple of the units in this. Or, again, you might want to go all the way up here to weaving if you get someone that's got a high weaving threshold. Getting someone with a maximum of 120 is, of course, optimal, because that does allow you, if we go into the proficiency menu, to get the maximum perk bonus down the bottom here. But as you can see, your starting character starts off with 50 maximum in each, and spear here we can't get up to the 60 cap, and we certainly can't get to 90 or 120. So this is where your tribesmen come in. Now, of course, if you do have a look at your tribes, there's a quick button to see this once you've got them, and you can go ahead and click go to proficiency, and it will tell you what their maximums are for crafting and weapon usage as well. We can see here this Balahar guy has got 115 in spear, but he's got 122 in gauntlets, which is great, because that does mean that you are then going to be able to get this 120 bonus threshold. He has got a couple of 90 plus skills as well, so leatherworking he's got level 98 in, which means you can get the third perk, which is great at the beginning, especially until you unlock someone with a 120 plus. He's also got the mining up past 90, harvesting, potting, and so on and so forth. So if you get characters like this, you want to get them training in those particular ones as early as possible, and that's why if we go back to the mask screen, some of these can be great to pick up, but it's essentially what you want to do. And then, of course, like I said, the bottom module is based on your mask. Now, as well, remember that once you do get to awareness strength 25, you can actually start going down into this tree below the mask, which is the multifunctional module, and it says that you can repair it to activate the red crystal slot, allowing you to add various red crystal function chips to the mask via the terminal or the mysterious stone table, thus vastly boosting the mask's ability. So that is going to unlock you some pretty powerful things that you are going to want to look at. I'm not going to include too many spoilers here, given that this is a first 3 mask kind of video, so I'm going to leave that one for you to find out, and I'll cover it in further videos later down the line. But this is very good, and you do want to unlock this when you can as well. So going over it briefly to recap what my absolute essential go-to first ones are: of course, get your core functional module up, get control unlocked, and then go straight into connection enhancement. Then I would always go for combat instinct and unlock yourself energy unit, at least 1 level of it, and perception enhancement with quality assessment. Once you've got those, go into whichever skill tree you are using in terms of weapons to be able to level that one up faster. And of course, you can get multiple of these, if not all of these, when you get enough green crystals to do so. And then think about what you want to level up in your tribe, either personally, or if you've got some tribesmen with 90 plus or 120 plus skill caps in something, I would pick up those nodes in order to be able to get your tribesmen to that maximum level and unlock those perks very, very easily. I hope this video has helped you out. If it has, please do leave me a like and a subscribe down below. Other than that, I'll catch you again very shortly on a brand new upload, so take care and peace.